What is up, everybody? My name's Jay Vicks. I own JVI Mobile Marketing, and this is a series called Meet the Local Experts. It's an offshoot of a series that I started called Meet the Experts. But since I'm in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, I came up with the idea of promoting and spotlighting local businesses and people that I've met and people that I've come across, and I think that their business and what they do is fascinating and interesting, and it's just kind of a nice way for me to make connections with people and help people with their content. So the service that we launched is called howto.agency, and this is our fifth episode. So excited to keep it going. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Jess Trott. She has a company called Organize With Jess, and we're going to learn all about her over the next 15 minutes. So I hope you'll enjoy. And if you have any questions, just feel free to put it in the comments and we'll try to bring those questions up online. So without further ado, let me bring up my friend Jess. Hey Jess, how are you?
Hey Jay, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Are you look very nice. You all ready for Christmas and New Year and all that other stuff now?
We're ready and waiting. It's been nice to have actual cold weather. It's snowing back in New York, so I'm jealous that they've got snow, but we're ready. We're ready for it.
And we kind of have that kinship in common because I'm from New Jersey, so we're both from the Northeast. So I
Yep.
like the snow. So let's get started. So tell me a little bit about how long have you been in business here in the Triad, and kind of what you do. What does Organize with Just do?
Sure. So Organize with Jess does lots of different awesome services. We've been in the Triad since 2014. I've been doing this professionally since 2011. So I moved here with my husband in 2014. We rebranded, we restarted the company. What we do is we help people who lack the time, desire, or skill to organize on their own.
Okay. We got our first comment too, and we got a yay Jess from Laura. So we just pop that up there, and I actually have a little banner for you. So if you guys want to get a hold of Jess, I'm
Yay!
gonna have
Hi,
her phone.
Laura.
Awesome. Her phone number and website for the company is going to be scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So I think organizing is just kind of this like. I heard about it years ago. I heard that people were like, there's like a National Association of Professional Organizers. Like this is, I'm sure maybe that's something you're a member of. I don't know, but so I had heard about that, and I was like, this is such a very interesting career. How did you actually just really get into it? Like, how did that start?
Yeah, so I am a member of NAPO. I'm one of the certified professional organizers through NAPO. And I think it's so cool that there's this conglomerate of other people who are just as crazy as I am. I love that. I'm this person. I've been this person since I was a little kid. I always tell people that, I had the box of 96 Crayola crayons. And I knew if you had used it because you didn't put the yellow back where I would have put the yellow back. So I have always been this person. Professionally, though, it's really hard to take something that you do on a regular basis and turn that into a career, into a livelihood, into something that other people are able to kind of get involved with. I nannied through grad school. So I'm a psychology major. I was going to grad school for early education, and I was nannying through grad school. And there was a day where an incident happened, which I share privately, but I don't want to share publicly,
Right. Okay.
that made it so that the mother of the children I was nannying for just got really upset. You could tell that she was missing out on stuff. So I was like, okay, well, tomorrow when I come, I will do what you normally do, and you be the nanny. You go play with the kids, you give them your undivided attention, and give me your to-do list. And she was like, how is that going to work? I'm like, let's try it. If it doesn't work, we switch back. So the next day, I switched out the 2T and the 3T clothing, and I brought down the Christmas decorations and put away all of the Halloween decorations. And I unloaded the groceries and reorganized her pantry for her. I did all of the things that homeowners, moms, dads, humans do for themselves on a regular basis. Um, so that night, she was so excited. She got to spend really good time with her kids. We loved it. We continued to switch moving forward. And I was telling my sister-in-law the story. And I was on the phone with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, so cool. Like, I got to do just normal, everyday Jess stuff. And the client was happy. And she was like, oh my God, I would pay someone to do that for me. And 10 years later, we're a successful company with 8 employees and several vans and lots of clients who love paying us to do what we do. And it was really cool to find out that it was a niche that we could fill. So it's awesome.
That is awesome, and that's a great story. Like I wouldn't have thought. I'm going to adjust my camera down a little bit. I wouldn't have. It's a is it. I just think how you came up with that is just so fascinating. We're like, hey, let's just switch, and it's amazing how something can be born from something as seemingly like trivial or almost as that, and you end up coming up with something that you really enjoy doing. So speaking of enjoying it, what's your favorite part of what you do? What's your favorite part of your work?
So I am the type of individual who is going to solve the problem you present me with. If you tell me that we can't do something, I'm going to spend the next however long finding a way to be able to do it. So that's how this was kind of created. My favorite part of my job is that I get to just be me at work. A lot of people, I think we all kind of strive to have a career or a profession that we like or we enjoy or we at least don't hate. I joke that it's like, you really don't hate going to work. Like you're doing really good right now,
Right.
I love my job. I would do what I do without being compensated for it. But then I need to compensate other people for things. So it kind of has to happen that way. So my favorite part is when we take something really simple, really teeny tiny that impacts a client's life for the better. So a good example of that. I always use my husband as an example. I throw James under the bus all the time. He loves being booked and he's not going anywhere. So he doesn't have a choice. So he has to live with a super organized person. And he's an organized dude, definitely. Like he's got his stuff together. But when he walks in, he throws his keys, he kicks off his shoes, he takes his jacket off and he hangs it on the dining room chair. There's certain behaviors that just occur, right? So my favorite part as an organizer is being able to like place a key bowl to catch those keys, to place a basket to catch those shoes, and to let it be okay that there's one jacket on our dining room table so we can coexist. And it makes it so that there's lasting change for the client because I did something seemingly effortless that they're really excited about.
That is incredible. I get the throwing the spouse under the bus thing too. Not so much under the bus, but like I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to clients or I'm going through a strategy session with them, and I know you probably come in and do some type of assessment or meeting with them, but where I'm like, oh, my wife Devin, we do this or that and tell stories, and it just makes for spouses are great for that,
Oh, for sure. And I joke too. I go, guys, he has to live with a professional organizer, like this poor man. Like I feel so bad for him sometimes because I'm like, who moved the teaspoon? Like, where is it? So we try to have it so that our house is functional. We've got 2 huge dogs, and at any point you're going to be tripping over dog toys. But we want to make it so that we can coexist. So giving that to clients, something as simple as the little command hook by the door where that's where your keys always go.
Right.
Changes their life. They're no longer late for work, and it's something that's so simple.
That's awesome. It's mind blowing. It's something I wouldn't have even thought of that just comes innately to you. You mentioned your team. You mentioned, I think you said eight people on the team or something. So I was going to ask you, do you have others on your team? But tell us about your team. How does that work?
So we've been super fortunate, and I think that iron sharpens iron, and awesome always finds awesome. I say that all the time. Like if you are awesome, you enjoy working with awesome people. So our team is fantastic for so many different reasons. We've got a manager who works behind the scenes, Carrie. She's the one that's in charge of me. That's the hardest job because she has to keep me doing what I need to do. She's fantastic. She's what makes the company kind of move forward in a way that it's not just Jess anymore. It was really hard to take Organize with Jess and move it to the crew. She does a great job at that. And then we have multiple on-site organizers. So right now, I'm able to be in the office talking to you guys, and there's a team at a client's house right now providing lasting changes. And that is so cool to me because we've found a way to make it so I can be in multiple places. Even though it's not physically me, the change is happening still. And that's so cool. So we've got multiple leads. We've got different vans that are running. I believe Karen and Jesse are out there working right now. And we have a team of up to 8 consultants that can be on site at one time if clients need us to. So we can unpack your entire house in 2 days. where most people have lived in their house for 5 or 6 years and there's still a box in the corner that they don't know what's inside of it, right? So
Check.
yeah, check. We go, but sometimes it's fine. I'm like, just kick that out of the way. We don't know what that is, But
Right.
when we want it unpacked, we're able to help clients with that.
That is awesome. I will vouch. I will agree in second that Carrie is awesome because I've had a lot of dealings with her through business and whatever, but lots of communication back and forth, and just you want to talk about like just a fantastic person to communicate with and somebody who seems on the ball. And I think it's what's really cool is she's your person, to like keep you that way in business. And I have a person on my team who lives in New Jersey, and she's like I always say like Heather is my person because
Oh yeah.
I just it's like your sounding board through the day, or somebody that can just keep you in line and help you in a professional sense, and it's awesome to have that. So, well, cool. So, organizing. You mentioned a couple things that you've been able to do, but if I were just watching this and I didn't really know much about home organizing, and I might say like what are a few common issues that you can help with, or maybe some things that you find yourself doing all the time.
Sure. So common things that we do is kitchens, absolutely. Garages. People walk out into their garage and they're like, oh my gosh, like just throw it over there. You know what I mean? Like, especially this time of year because we've unearthed all the holiday decorations. There's still like a pumpkin sitting around. We have a pumpkin and a hay bale, but we also have like Santa and Frosty chilling. And we don't know where to put it. So we end up just throwing it on top of each other. Then if it snows, kids have like sleds and stuff. It becomes mayhem. We know that. So garages are one of our favorite jobs because clients hate them and we love them. We can come in. Typically, we'll do a garage in a 4-hour session. So we come in with a team of 3. We will empty the entire thing. So clients hate this part. They're like, please don't. Like the neighbors are going to think I'm crazy. They're not. Please don't do it. We empty it all. It's happening. So we empty every single item out of the garage so it's a clean slate. We restructure the way that the shelving is set up, or we build shelving and have things come. We put new shelving in. We have a division of the company that's a handyman division. So we can build shelving. We can actually mount things on the wall if we need to. And then we put things back in a way that makes sense. So you can go and get Frosty and not derail the pumpkin that you just put away. Because that's how we live. Like, I don't want to spend 3 hours reconfiguring Christmas so I can still park my car in the garage. I want to throw it in, and then I want to be able to leave and go to the gym and not worry about it. So we make it so that it's easy for clients to do that. So garages are one that we do all the time. Kitchens all the time because things get added to our kitchen without our consent. Like coffee cups mate when we go to bed. When we go to sleep, they multiply.
They do.
Organize With Jess comes in and helps you get rid of the one that you're like, nobody can use this, right?
That is awesome. What about like the junk drawer? Like everybody has the junk drawer. Is that like something you specialize in like taking care of?
So what's so funny is there's not a junk drawer in my house. We don't have a junk drawer. If you needed a scissor, there's a scissor in a spot where the scissor is. But clients always have a junk drawer. It's like, I don't know what to do with it. Just put it there. My own husband has a junk drawer, right? So like he does where he's going to drop stuff in. So yeah, we go through, and I think of it as we always want to reallocate the space is how we think about it. So with any project, we reallocate the space. So instead of calling it the junk drawer, we're no longer allowed to call it that. We're going to call it the kitchen office drawer. And in the kitchen office drawer, that's where I can keep like a scissor and a measuring tape and maybe one screwdriver, nail clippers, a baby pacifier if you have little kids, like those kinds of things. It's not a junk drawer. And then in a separate drawer, maybe it's like receipts, all of the manuals that you're never going to read. You could throw them out. You're never going to read them.
We have so
Throw
many.
them in the garbage. Google, how do I fix my Keurig? And Google will tell you, everybody's got the same stuff. And that's what's so funny is that all of our clients have the same afflictions, right? And it's the same afflictions that every human I've ever met have, that I myself have. And there shouldn't be like a stigma associated with it. Like my vacuum came with the owner's manual and that random attachment I'm never going to use. The difference is when I got it, I recycled the one thing and I donated the other piece because I'm not going to use it, right? So
That is awesome, and it's just that was like such a useful tip. Laura chimed in on Facebook and said that she has like 6 junk drawers. So, but we're not allowed to call them that anymore.
Did not
That's funny. So, so just to kind of wrap up, because I really do. I know we met through a networking group, probably a year and a half or so ago now, and then we helped you with logo work and some other stuff. And I love the handy human service. So that handyman service is just so exciting. I have the ticker going across the bottom of the screen, but just go ahead and tell us how people can get in touch with you.
Sure. So we want our clients to do a fair amount of due diligence before we talk to you. And I know that that seems counterproductive from a business standpoint, but our website, our Facebook, our Instagram is set up so that you can learn a lot about us from that. We want you to go on and read through the information. We want you to look at our website. We want you to go through previous projects that we've done. And then we want you to contact us via our website. So on the website, there's a contact form. We take that really seriously. We want clients to send us the information that they need us to have, and we get back to you immediately. We get right back to you and set up that first phone consultation. So they send us a quick email that says, hey, Jess, I need my spare bedroom turned into an office because my husband's now working from home. Can your team come out? Here's the timeline I'm looking for, etc. We set up a phone consultation. I will spend as long as people want on the phone. That's our free consultation. We get all of your questions answered. I cover all of the nuts and bolts. We go through everything that you could possibly need. And then we schedule an on-site, actual in-home consultation to begin that plan. But to start, we want clients to go to our website.
Awesome. Case study just happened. We just had a case study. I mentioned Laura had commented that she has like 6 junk drawers, but she shouldn't. But here was her follow-up comment: is that she used to have 12 until Jess came along. So
that's half as many.
That's how you're doing great work. Yeah. So thanks again for coming on. If anybody wants to get a hold of Jess, definitely go to organizewithjess.com. Go to that contact form, ask away, ask those questions. Jess, thank you so much for coming on Meet the Experts.
Yeah, thanks, Jay, for having me. This was great.
You got it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Bye now.
Bye.